Hey guys, check it out. Do you see the caterpillar here? This is a very interesting South Florida tropical sphinx moth caterpillar. It's called the streaked sphinx Protambulux strigilis. And what's cool about this moth caterpillar, if you still don't see the caterpillar, comment down below. He is pretty camouflaged and he kind of looks like a twig, but there he is. He's this big green dude here. Let's see. It's kind of hard to film in. All right. This big green dude, he's got the little white band on his butt and the little horn coming off of his butt end, just like most sphinx caterpillars do. Yeah, guys, the cool thing about this moth caterpillar is that it feeds on poisonous plants. In fact, it eats some of the most poisonous plants around, including a tree in the hardwood hammocks in South Florida called Poisonwood. So guys, we're gonna show you, like, number one, we're gonna show you this caterpillar. We're gonna take care of it. We're raising it, but it's a kind of a risky business getting into taking care of these kind of caterpillars because we have to actually touch the plants that are poisonous. And I've got actually some pretty nasty marks from the Poisonwood, guys. Let's get into the video as we take care of this caterpillar. All right, folks, so the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna open up this container where I have our streaked sphinx caterpillar, and this is where we're raising them. I found this Tupperware. It's kind of cool. It's got like this little flap up here, and you can open it, and it actually provides a little bit of ventilation. And the reason I like that is because sometimes when you're raising caterpillars that make a lot of mess on the bottom and that you have a lot of biomass inside, the plant is producing humidity in the container, and a lot of times you'll have condensation on the side. So when the condensation starts to build up, you can just pop this thing and leave it open, and a little bit of gas exchange will allow some of that condensation to evaporate. And then once you see that the humidity in the container is the right amount where there's no condensation, you can just pop that thing back down. But anyway, we are going to open this guy up, and we are going to show you the streaked sphinx caterpillar. And the cool thing about this caterpillar is, and we said it in the intro, it feeds on poisonous plants. Now, this is not poisonwood. It was found on poisonwood, guys. We found the caterpillar feeding on poisonwood, which is a very nasty tree in the hardwood hammocks of South Florida and the Florida Keys. And I got nailed right here on my elbow or my arm. I got a real, this is where I came in contact with a stem of the poisonwood, and that's about a week ago. So as you can see, it's got a nice big rash. If you've ever had poison ivy, you know exactly what this feels like. If you've never had anything like this before, you don't want to start. Okay, now poisonwood is nasty. There's a few other plants that will do this to you. It's in the same family as poison ivy. And in fact, Brazilian pepper is a plant that some people react to and some people don't. It's in the same family. Brazilian pepper is an exotic plant that comes from Brazil. Chinus terebinthifolia. Some people call it Christmas berry because in December it gets these red berries. Now, I react real badly to Brazilian pepper, so I'm a little cautious. Typically, if I just touch the stem, it doesn't bother me. But the problem is this caterpillar has eaten all of these leaves, and everywhere the caterpillar has eaten and the leaves are chewed, like the end of the stem right here, it releases the sap and it bleeds a little bit. And that is exactly, if that gets on my skin, I'll react pretty badly towards it. So I'm gonna be really careful. I'm gonna pull it out by the stem. I'm gonna try not to let any of these little things touch me because I don't feel like dealing with this. It's like a week long, guys. And I'll pick it up by the water pick from here on out. But it's a week-long thing. So here's our Protambulux strigilis, our streaked sphinx caterpillar. As you can see, he acts a lot like a broken stem, and he's got the horn just like most sphinx moth caterpillars have that horn on the back. He's got the white stripe. Oh gosh, focus. The white stripe on his butt. And he just hangs on with his pro legs. And as you can see, his entire body is hanging off the stem that he was chewing on. And there's his little true legs there in his head. He's got like a little cone-shaped head. It's a cool bug. But what we have to do, guys, is we have to take care of this guy, and I got to make sure that I have some fresh food, but we also have to make sure that we clean out this container. So what we can do, you know, this frass, guys, believe it or not, is great fertilizer. So, you know, if you're smart and you want to grow your plants, you can always kind of dump out your frass pellets in a garden or something like that, and it makes great fertilizer. So I'll just dump it on my cassia tree here. Let's see, I got to get this out. Dump that out. Now I get my my paper towel here, get a new liner. I kind of already know how to fold this one. Put my liner in, put my cup in, and I'm ready for a new one. Now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna pull this Brazilian pepper stem out, and I've got my water pick ready. So what I'm gonna do, time to go cut some Brazilian pepper, and fortunately, we've got some Brazilian pepper hanging right over my fence. In fact, my neighbor's got some, actually a lot more Brazilian pepper there than I would prefer. However, in this case, while I'm raising these guys, this is all Brazilian pepper right here. It's a very invasive exotic, and let me see if I can show you some nice, more tender growth on the Brazilian pepper. Yeah, I'm gonna snip. See if I can get a good fresh snip. I'm not sure how picky these guys are. This is a little high here. Okay. So, all right. Brazilian pepper, guys, we've cut this thing back 100 times, and this is like just 6 months growth. I mean, it's like 10 feet tall already. So it's a pain in the butt to keep up with. So what I got to make sure is I make sure that I don't let this cut stem touch my skin, because if I do, I'm going to react for sure. I don't want to do that. Usually the leaves on Brazilian pepper don't cause me to react. It's usually the sap. Okay. So I'm going to bring this back here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it down to size a little bit so it fits in my container. Okay, I'll cut a few of these off. Now, this whole thing right here, guys, is going to be, that's grounds for blowing up here. If my skin touches any of these little nodules where I cut these things off, then I'm gonna react. So I'm gonna put this right in there in the water pick. Okay. So our Brazilian pepper stem, there's plenty of biomass there. Now I'm just gonna slide this in the container. Now what I can do with my caterpillar, I'll just cut the stem where he's resting. Now this is tricky because pretty much no matter where I touch, I'm going to have some sap touching my skin. So now I'm trying not to touch those trimmed edges. I'm gonna put my caterpillar and just rest him right there. And he will go ahead and crawl, when he's nice and ready, crawl onto his new food stem and start feeding. So that's about it, guys. I'm gonna close him up and I will show you this guy when he makes his pupa. All right, guys, so hope you liked the video. It's a cool one. It's a beautiful bug, and I can't wait to show you the life cycle of the streaked sphinx. What a cool bug he is. Give me a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're going to show you the life cycle of this guy and many other species. And we've got so much to show you from the moths of the South Florida and the Florida Keys. Till next time, guys, let's get out there and enjoy South Florida. Can't wait to show you the rest of this guy's life cycle. Take care.